Today's topic is modern class system. And I will try to compare it with our ancient caste system. And one disclaimer which I would like to say is, because nowadays this is important, whenever I am using the word class, caste, race, color, creed, sex, it is for description and not discrimination, because these are famous words. Many people, means everyone knows these words, meaning of these words. So what is class system? Modern class system. And with respect to that, I will compare to our ancient caste system. And again, this is not a political lecture. I am trying to find out the roots of, like, origin of the class system, origin of the caste system. And I have gone through many existing videos, and I have been reading books all my life on nearly all topics. I am a voracious reader. So again, this is not a class. Just as I said, all my lectures are not time bound. I am not interested in reels and shorts or becoming viral. It is just as if I am talking with you. We are a group of friends. I am not bothered about like, dislike, share, comment. Means everyone has a right to say whatever he has to say. I am saying whatever I want, but without disturbing anything. I believe that in a democratic setup, we should be sensible. Nowadays, the way politicians talk on all topics, these are not, we are watching on television, national television. These are not debates. They are dogfights. Dogfights means that is not good. Nothing comes out of it. Violence should not be there. And if it is there, it has to be justified. For example, Army, Navy, Air Force, Police Force, security, defense, arms and ammunitions. Government has all this. This is for preventing violence and not for doing violence. So class system, if you will understand, class system, modern class system. On, I don't know the exact date, means I think 7th of June 1893, our world famous personality, Mahatma Gandhi, he was pushed out of a train in South Africa. Means you can Google, this is a world famous event. And that was a racial discrimination. one white person, the story is in Google, called a officer, a ticket collector or whatever, and said there is a coolie like person, means brown colored person. That was the words he used in 1893. And so he was pushed out of a bogie which was supposed to be reserved for whites only, and that was discrimination. But remember, it is 1893. First World War is yet to happen. Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi was yet to become Mahatma Gandhi. But that was the basic of his non-cooperation movement, non-violent movement. So that class, first class for white people on the basis of race. And even today, from 1893 coming back to 2023, even today this form of discrimination exists in a subconscious way. Means it is not direct, but we have seen, means in trains, buses, aeroplanes, we have first class reservations, second class reservations, and third class reservations also. When I am using class, it is for description and not discrimination. And even in marking system, when we are in school and college, we have first class, second class, third class, fourth class. Then percentage is there, percentile is there, grades are there, A grade, B grade, C grade, A plus, A minus, B plus, B minus, C plus, C minus. Means nothing wrong in this. This is not means discrimination. We are describing something, right? A grade, B grade, C grade, first class, second class, third class. And the economical thing is there. So first class is costly, most costly, whether in train, bus or in planes. Similarly, when a student is first class, he is supposed to be one of the best. There is distinction also in some countries, right? So when we are using this class description, class system, in modern times, we know this is not for discrimination. It depends directly upon your financial status. Means while traveling in first class, second class or third class, and in marking system or grades, it shows how much intelligent you are, what is your memory, what is your recall. So these are just markers, standards. Gold standard is there, silver standard is there, platinum standard, diamond standard is there, right? And this classification or class description, we are aware, and we are not bothered also by this. If someone is traveling by first class, he is traveling because he can afford. As simple as that. Then there are some credit cards or some banks which are by invitation only. Excuse me, which are by invitation only. Means you don't get that card just because you are applying. there is a criteria, and that criteria is usually financial. You have to be rich and famous, more or less, or at least rich. Need not be famous, but yes, being rich is compulsory for this caste. Usually when we call a millionaire, billionaire, trillionaire, see, we are describing, right? Millionaire, billionaire, trillionaire, we are describing. We are not discriminating. And even in sports, we have gold medal, silver medal, bronze medal. The difference may be for a runner a few seconds. So more or less they are at par. They are at par, more or less. But still there is some difference of a fraction of a second, right? See, this I am trying to explain existing class system, and then I will try to compare this with our ancient Hindu caste system. Many misinterpretations are there, and as usual, because I don't like controversies, I will not take name of any caste, because this is a very sensitive issue, especially in our country. But the descriptions of the caste, I will give standard descriptions which are already there in Google, means they are not generated by me or invented or discovered by me. I will be just referring to various books. Standard most famous books are our Ramayana, Mahabharata, our Bhagavad Gita, Ved, Puran. Of course, I don't have an elephant's memory, so I will not be able to tell you from which chapter, which stanza I am talking, because I am never by heart anything. I read, then I absorb, I digest, and it remains at the back of my mind. And whenever I am giving a lecture, I have a just rough sketch about what I am going to talk, but I never decide what to talk. Means I have few notes, I keep it in front of me so that I can refer what I am talking about, how to refer. They are just markers, highlights. They are highlighters for me. It is not means copy paste. So coming back to classification or class system. Now once we understand, and never feel bad about if someone is going by first class, they can go. Now who can't afford, those who can't afford, they will not complain. They will go by second or third class. The beauty of or the neutrality of class system is if you become rich and famous, anyone can travel by first class. Means that I assume, I don't think, sometimes means we have heard some planes, some companies, 5-star hotels, 7-star, 10-star hotels, despite having or being rich and famous, they are having their own classifications of whom they will allow in their hotels. For example, they may have a rule that you should have a card which is by invitation only. So usually you have to be a millionaire, billionaire, trillionaire. Then it doesn't matter what is your caste, what is your color. So if you are a millionaire, billionaire, trillionaire, they will take you in their hotels, trains, planes, casinos, spas. But at times we can see there is discrimination also, and many times a few persons are rejected because of specific race or whatever, then it becomes famous, it becomes viral. Means in our country, one of our prime minister was barred from entering a 5-star hotel because he was wearing a traditional dress. Now that is foolish. He was wearing a dress, right? So even these first class hotels have dress codes, evening code, morning code, breakfast dress, dinner dress, then lunch dress, sleeping dress, swimming dress. So they have their own world, they have their own planet, they live on their own islands, and there they rule. So that's subtle, subconsciously we can see this type of discriminations under the name of class system also is there, right? And there is a rank and file. Means normally in every army, navy and air force, in police force worldwide, I am not speaking specifically about my country, from the lowest grade to the topmost grade, say from the soldier to the general, or from a ordinary peon or sentry to the president. Even in 5-star companies, corporate companies, transnational companies, there is a class system. From the watchman on the gate to the president or owner of the company, there are different grades. They have different salaries: vice president, president, chief operating officer, chief coordinating officer, assistant vice president, MD, board of directors. And means I am saying in general, means there is a hierarchy, there is a pecking order, and everyone follows it, and it is good. So these grades in class system also and in caste system also, it is complicated, but I will try to simplify. There is a higher class, middle class and lower class, right? This is applicable to class system also and caste system also, and I am generalizing because otherwise it will become too complicated for the uninitiated people who are not aware of all these things. So higher class, middle class and lower class. Then in higher class also there is higher class, higher middle class, higher lower class, right? Then in middle class there is higher middle class, middle class and lower middle class. See, these words are used in commerce. In lower class or lower caste also, there is a higher lower class, middle lower class and lower class. So higher class, now here we will, class and caste is equal, class and caste is equal, just to understand. Higher class, middle class, lower class, higher caste, middle caste, lower caste. For example, supposing, means as an example I am giving, not for discrimination. There are graduates, undergraduates, preschool, we have kindergarten, playgroup, postgraduates, doctors, double doctors, PhD also and surgeons also. So, a ordinary medical graduate is ordinary. then he will go on becoming postgraduate, then doctor, double doctor, triple doctor. So the more qualified you are, you become a more higher class person in that field, right? Try and understand, this is difficult. I am trying to simplify. So in lawyer also, there are junior lawyer, senior lawyer, magistrate, judge, high court judge, supreme court judge. In country also, topmost is president or prime minister. Then there is a lower hierarchy, right? So this is for description and not for discrimination. Then in our country we have IAS officers, IPS officers, IRS, IFS. These are government servants, and there is a rank and file. Even in them, some are first class officers, some are second class, third class, fourth class, then that goes down and goes up also, right? So once you understand that even today, indirectly in the name of classification or class, subconscious discrimination exists. They have their own powers, their own rights, and now why this? Sometimes we hear that we have laws, worldwide we have laws, minorities protection laws, atrocities laws, so that the higher class or the higher caste person can't exploit the lower class or the lower caste person. These laws are there, and we respect those laws. Then we have this glass ceiling also, you must have heard. What is this glass ceiling? This is also a modern class system or caste system. Usually it is very difficult to break this glass ceiling. One who is in the field, corporate world, anywhere. I am not country specific. All rich people belong to the same class in whichever country, and all poor people belong to the same class in whichever country. Doesn't matter whether you are from a first world, second world, or a third world, right? So how we compare this class system with ancient caste system? Many people, especially in our country, invaders, means we got freedom from the British Empire on 15th August 1947. Before them, Mughals were ruling us, Badshahs. I think the last Badshah was Bahadur Shah Zafar. I don't remember, just. So, invaders always take advantage and use the divide and rule policy, which is the oldest trick in the book. So when you can't defeat them, confuse them, let them go for infighting, see to it that we fight with each other, take advantages of their discriminations, their declassifications, classifications, right? That is what every hunter does. Hunter always sets the rule and the hunted gets hunted, because the hunter is always at the top of the food chain, right? So even in modern times, see, it is very simple. Means while I will go in our caste system, sometimes we hear some news that on racial grounds or on grounds of religion or caste, especially in our country, still in rural India and some places, it is rare but it is there, honor killing takes place because someone gets married to someone. Means a upper class person gets married to a lower class. So there is a problem of lower class girl getting married to upper class person. Or even though our country, there is a special marriage act which naturally protects and allows inter-caste marriages, inter-religious marriages also. That is good. Means I don't support the caste system in the real sense. I respect whatever laws are there by our Supreme Court, implemented by our Supreme Court, our High Court, our lower courts. See, here also Supreme Court is there, High Court is there, lower court is there. But that is for description. Their powers are different, their rights are different. But it is made for benefit of humankind, citizens. Laws are there so that any person in power, usually higher class person, should not or will not exploit a ordinary or a poor person who doesn't know anyone in the corridors of power, right? So that laws are correct, nothing wrong in that. Then, for example, honor killing can't be justified. But why this happens? From where this caste system came? First thing is, even today if you look, what happens? Supposing if there is a rich and famous person, bachelor, a rich person, famous person, a Mr. Somebody, and supposing if there is a Mr. Nobody, for example, say like me, whom no one knows, I am not rich and famous, I have no intentions also to become, and neither the capabilities. Nothing wrong in being honest, right? So, if a girl or a woman is given a choice to marry, I will use the word marriage because relationship is, because other animals don't marry, only human beings marry. So if a woman is given a choice, see, let us be honest, given a choice to get married to a Mr. Somebody or a Mr. Nobody, naturally she will select a Mr. Somebody. Means that is a dream of any girl. Like usually any man also wants to become rich and famous. So it is a dream of any girl or a woman to get married to a rich and famous person, because subconsciously this goes back to our cave days when human beings were in caves. It is simple. For example, a woman who gets married to any person, why we get married? For feeding and breeding. We want to have children, then children will require food, clothing and shelter. We will require food, clothing and shelter. So financial aspects are there. So usually what money can buy is more important, and what money can't buy, we can live without that. Money can't buy love, money can't buy honesty, money can't buy integrity, money can't buy emotions. But usually we can live without all these things. But we cannot live without food, clothing and shelter, medicines. Basics I am saying. So for food, clothing, shelter and raising a family, you require money. So if you have money, then you have honey, milk and honey. Naturally, nothing wrong. Because when a woman gets married, then she will become pregnant, then she will give birth to a child. See, this is, even though this looks normal, pregnancy and childbirth usually are safe. Usually. Doctors are there to do everything. When doctors were not there, even at that time also pregnancy and childbirth used to take place. Even in our caves, our women used to give birth to children. Of course, mortality rate was very high because of various reasons. And even today in some rural countries, villages, where medical facilities are not available, pregnancy and childbirth mortality rate is very high. Sometimes the mother dies, sometimes the child dies, sometimes both die. I am not diverting. See, I am trying to tell you certain things. Why a woman will prefer, or a female will prefer a powerful male. Like in nature, tigers, lions, elephants, males, even dogs. Dog fights are common when they are in season, and when many of us have seen live honeymoons of dogs on streets. But before that there is a fight, and the most powerful dog, the winner dog, will be allowed to take the first chance, and then other dogs will follow. So the winner keeps it all is the rule of nature. Rule of nature. As we forget that we human beings are also animals. We should not forget. We human beings are also animals. But we have forgotten that. And sadly, we have become more dangerous than animals. Do you understand why I am saying this? Look at the state we have done. Look at our earth. Look at the damages we have done. So, once you understand why a female prefers a very powerful male, because he will protect her in traditional way. I am talking about cavemen long back. I am not against feminism. I respect their rights also. Yes, even they have a right for everything. But even then, usually we can see that celebrity women also prefer celebrity males for getting married or for having relationships. How many times we have seen rich and famous males and females going for someone who are not rich and famous? Affairs, relationship, marriage. Especially marriage is something which is visible. Affairs can be, premarital affairs, extramarital affairs. Everyone has, lower class, middle class, higher class, no exception. Affairs are affairs. Means no religion supports that, no culture supports that. But it is a mutual thing. If consenting adults are having affairs, it is allowed. But some religions, it is not allowed. Some regions, it is not allowed. But that is not the topic. Topic is why this class system and caste system became dangerous later on. But it was basically always there. Modern class system is visible in first class, second class and third class, trains, planes and buses. Ancient caste system or racial discrimination on the basis of language, color, sex, gender biases. These have roots in our ancient Homo sapiens, even before that. We have to go 10,000 years back. I will go, but don't worry, I will not bore you, in short, but not now. So coming back to point, means why this is happening, what is the key for class system or caste system. As I said, even today, celebrity woman will marry celebrity man will marry celebrity woman. Their religion doesn't matter, their region doesn't matter. Only criteria is, if you are a millionaire, you want a millionaire. If you are a billionaire, you want a billionaire. And we can see this in rich and famous marriages, celebrity marriages. How many times celebrities get married to their fans and followers? Means males or females both, no exception. Nothing wrong in that. That is by mutual consent. So why a female prefers a powerful male? In ancient times, she used to prefer kings or powerful warriors, because only a king can protect her from other males, other invading males, like the law of the jungle. Then afterwards she will become pregnant. Pregnancy and childbirth at that time was more dangerous, and today it is safe. But still, even in first class countries also, mortality rate is there. Sometimes pregnancy complications are there, pre-pregnancy complications are there, post-pregnancy complications are there, means post-delivery. So mortality rate may be less, but it is there. So it is natural that when a woman wants to get married, she is not bothered about the age of the male. Female is not bothered about the age of the male. If he is stable, rich and famous, and we can see, look around, means this is not something, I am not discriminating or saying that this is wrong. This is right, I am justifying. A woman has a right to select a male of her choice. In our ancient text also, a woman was given that right. Yes, that right is there, and nothing wrong in that. What is wrong in that? If you want to see modern classifications or class system, just check the dating sites or matrimonial sites in our country and in various countries. So usually females will prefer someone at par with them as a husband or above par. So marriage partnerships are like business partnerships only. When it is arranged marriage in our country, and nowadays via matrimonials also it is arranged marriage only, but here the woman decides. So whatever salary she has, whatever qualifications she has, usually if you look around yourself also, look at your means woman around you, in your family, in your friends, in your society, usually they will prefer males who are more qualified and more earning than whatever they are earning. Nothing wrong in that. Who doesn't want security? Financial, physical, mental, and as I said, what only money can buy is important for survival. It is a matter of life and death. You require your house, basic house, money, food, clothing, shelter, medication. Love emotions will come afterwards. Because if money was everything, then sometimes we see that these celebrity persons, rich and famous persons, also get divorced. So that means money cannot solve all problems. Divorce takes place in higher class also, middle class also, and lower class also. But when higher class divorce are there, reasons are different. Reasons will vary. So if you look around, why I am telling this? I am trying to tell you that even our caste system is blamed for many evils by foreigners, outsiders. They don't understand our caste system. I am not justifying anything. Discrimination on the basis of anything I don't support. I believe in equality. Everyone has a chance to become doctor, engineer, lawyer, singer, dancer, fighter, whatever he wants. It is a matter of choice. No one has a right to decide what a person can do in his life on the basis of how he looks, what is his color, what is his region, what is his religion. So this discrimination on any grounds I don't support. I believe in humanity. So there should not be no misunderstanding. I am trying to analyze from where this caste system came and why. Naturally, this caste system did not begin in the caves, right? At that time we were roaming around without clothes, nude, and trying to do many things for survival in the jungle, which is very difficult. Even now this is a cosmopolitan jungle, right? So this class system exists now. We are not ashamed of it also, and we have accepted that yes, rich people will be rich, poor will be poor. Then the government has laws to protect the underprivileged. So there is a Monopolies Restrictions Act where one company or one person is not allowed to do that thing exclusively, means only he cannot do it. He should allow other competition also. In monopolies, you try to kill competition, which is the law of the jungle. Two males will fight, survival of the fittest. Darwin's law, right? As Darwin said, we are all relatives. And Einstein said everything is relative, in a later vein. But coming to our point, in class system also, we see that discrimination happens. Though it is not direct because laws are there and you can get sued, you can get punished if you directly show racial discrimination or discrimination based on discriminative habits. And we can also see, even in modern times, interracial marriages are less, intercaste marriages are also less. Usually birds of same feather flock together. Means lions will get married to lioness, tigers will get married to tigress, cats will get married to cats, female cats, feline cats, right? Male female is there. In some first class countries now same sex marriages are also allowed. In nature also sometimes this type of behavior exists. I am not against or for it. I am just mentioning this thing. So in first class countries same sex marriages are allowed because it is a matter of mutual consent. And I respect that. Whatever is by law, I respect. That has to be respected. Law of the land has to be respected. But we can see even today, because of this means class system, some person who is in love with a higher class male or female, we can see that even today in first class, second class or third class countries, because of extramarital affairs or premarital affairs, in whatever class, murders take place, crime happens, rape take place, and after investigation it comes that it was ex-boyfriend or ex-husband or ex-girlfriend or ex-wife or maybe a mistress. So these extramarital affairs and premarital affairs can cause honor killing. Means a person, for example, a rich and famous person, if his wife is having an affair with some I will use the word lower class person as compared to him. Then he will get angry. He will hire some killers. We know many stories. I will not take names. We have got many movies also, serials also on this extramarital and premarital affairs, love, sex and violence, right? Sex, videotapes and lies. So, even now in our class system, modern world, we say that we are on the moon, we are going on Mars, we are talking of space-time travel, and here when someone goes for an extramarital affair, the wife or the husband will hire a killer because she or he feels humiliated or insulted because of this behavior. But this type of killings, if you go for the roots, of course it is not justified by law. The law of the land should be respected, and I don't believe in criminal activities or mindsets. It is a punishable offense and they should be punished. It is not justified. I think instead of going for extramarital affairs by a male or a female, you go for a divorce and get married with whomever you want. Why you should go and kill someone just because he or she is having an affair? Better to let go of her. Nothing wrong. But that doesn't happen. Our egos come. So like in the jungle also, a powerful male will not tolerate another male who is intruding on his pride. Same laws. See, this is the root. This class system or the caste system are basically, we can clearly see, the roots are in the jungle. The law of the jungle still applies. The most powerful, we can see, we are afraid of, more or less ordinary citizens are afraid of uniformed persons, right? So our Army, Navy, Air Force, they have uniform, doctors have uniform, lawyers have uniform. So anyone who has a uniform is not a civilian in that sense. And civil persons or ordinary citizens are always afraid of persons in uniform because they are more powerful than us. A doctor is more powerful than us, ordinary citizen. A lawyer is more powerful than us. A police officer, a army officer or any government servant is more powerful than us. So, this law of the jungle or hierarchy of the jungle still exists, but it is in a controlled manner, which is good. There is a control system. There are checks and mates so that power corrupts, but absolute power should not corrupt absolutely. So, once you understand this class system, this is more or less at par with our caste system or any type of discrimination. The roots are in the jungle, ancient time, 10,000 years back. Whatever is happening now in 2023, so this is technically the 21st century, right? Whatever laws we are making, whatever pros and cons are there, whatever region you belong, whatever religion you belong, everywhere majority rules. So once you understand this class system, modern class system, and understand that the roots are in the caves 10,000 years back, we are doing this without realizing. For every country there are different laws. Some support polygamy, some support polyandry, some support multiple marriages, some have single marriages. So wherever the law is there, it is legal. Wherever the law is not there, it is illegal. But in one country something is legal, in another country it may not be legal, it can be illegal. So laws will vary from country to country, culture to culture, region to region, religion to religion, and I respect everyone's opinion. So in short, majority rules. Majority rules. So this modern class system can be compared to our ancient caste system. So am I supporting discrimination? No. As I said, I don't like discrimination based on anything. But like this class system, why I am going for this system? Why I am not giving a direct lecture on caste system? Because caste system in our country, more or less everyone is aware. Now times have changed, people have become liberal, moderate, orthodox things have gone. But still, if you look at the matrimonial things, people usually prefer persons of the same caste to get married, same region, same religion. Like I said, interracial marriages are rare, intercaste marriages are also rare, interreligious marriages are also rare, interregion marriages are also rare. We have got 30 plus languages in our country. Interlingual marriages are also rare, though they are there, and law supports. Special Marriages Act supports this type of marriages by mutual consent. And as on date in our country, same-sex marriages are not allowed. Though relationships live in and they are accepted, but marriages still they are not allowed. So that Supreme Court will decide, majority will decide. And everywhere if you look in the world, whether first class, second class or third class, first world, second world or third world, everywhere majority rules. So once you understand that the majority, wherever they are powerful and they decide, they set the rules of the game in that region and in that country, right? So they are powerful, so they are the hunters, they are in the top chain, top hierarchy, they are there, right? So once you understand this class system, the next video I will describe our caste system with respect to the class system which is already there. So you can understand that if class system we are accepting because it is normal, but in caste system, what went wrong, when it went wrong, what was the origin of the caste system, why it originated in the jungle, yes. Then what were the rules, who decided to do what, how the discrimination part started, that you can understand. Means it is not difficult to understand. And means I am taking note of what points I am talking and what points I should not talk. So I usually try to stick to a schedule of 1 hour for any lecture. But I am not bothered. Means no one is watching. I know nowadays 1 minute is the maximum attention span, but I am not bothered about that. See, knowledge I am trying to give, and knowledge I cannot compete with entertainment. Entertainment was never my aim. So once you understand this class system in detail, then you will understand the caste system. So I will end here with just referring to the caste system. The caste system was ancient, where I don't know whether I should end or whether I should continue. I am confused. But there were 4 systems. You can call it as ancient Vedic system, ancient Indian system, or ancient Hindu system. Excuse me. So as per that, like I said, in the class system, there is upper class, middle class, lower class, or higher class, middle class and lower class. And I said that higher class also has got higher, mid and low, middle class has got high, mid and low, and lower class has got high, mid and low. So once you understand higher class, middle class, lower class, 3, 1 to 3, first class, second class, third class. Then in first class, I will go for grade system. That will be more easier. A grade, B grade and C grade. A plus, A minus. B plus, B minus. C plus, C minus. Right, so A, B, C and plus minus will give us total 9 grades. Right. So higher class were called as, now this many people have a doubt whether it was based on color. In India, it was based on color, or which part of India, North India, South India, East India, West India, Northeast, Northwest, Southeast, Southwest, 8 directions. Different cultures are there. Our country is very complicated, multiverse, 30 plus languages. I am proud of it. So upper class were usually Brahmins. They were called as Brahmins. Then Brahmins were upper caste. Then Kshatriyas. Kshatriya. I will explain. Then Vaishya. Vaishyas. Called Vaishya. And Shudra. So Brahman class was there, Kshatriya class was there, then Vaishya and Shudra. So here comes 4 classes, right? Then in Brahmins also, means I will first simplify, then I will go for the description part. Remember, this is not for discrimination, knowledge. Now Brahmins, they had upper class Brahmins, middle class Brahmins, lower class Brahmins. In Kshatriyas, warriors, they had upper class Kshatriyas, middle class Kshatriyas, lower class Kshatriyas. I am trying to simplify. Then in lower class, they had upper lower class, middle lower class and lower class. This lower class was usually the untouchables. Some say this description of Brahmin, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudra was based on color, which is not right. Because in our country, of course, there are some slight variations in colors because of region and climatic exposures. Of course, genetically also there is some variation, but that is not the part now. Means I am not going to my Aryan migration video, which I have already done. So how you understand our caste system, Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudra, with respect to the current class system, which for nearly 1 hour I am trying to justify. I will compare. Means the Brahmins, see, these statements are general and not intended to offend or hurt anyone. Brahmins means intellectual class with respect to modern classification or class system, means professors, anyone who teaches, like scientists, top class doctors, top class lawyers. They may be from different fields. See, they may be from different fields. They don't belong to the same field. But if you are a acharya, pracharya, or you are teaching, in our ancient time, teachers, professors were given very highest regard, because they will form the society, right? So Brahmins means intellectual class. Sometimes we call them as, means in modern context, palace politicians. Usually they are not aware of ground realities. Usually they are not aware of ground realities, but they can teach you. Like in many management colleges, entrance exam is there, and high class professors will teach from different world class universities. We have got world class universities, first class universities. See, it is there, second class universities, third class universities. Universities are given grades, right? A grade university, B grade university, C grade university. Why? Because their faculty varies. So whenever you hear a word in our caste system as Brahmins, that means they are usually professors or teachers. So upper, middle and lower class Brahmins means what? For example, see, there is a teacher in KG also, kindergarten, playgroup. In preschool and primary school, teachers are there. Their field is different, their knowledge is different, but it is important. They are teaching us alphabets, which is very important. Basics. Then we have got professors. Preschool is there, teachers. Primary school teachers, high school teachers. Then undergraduate teachers or professors. Then graduate teachers and professors. Then postgraduate teachers and professors. Then doctors, double doctors, in whatever field. So automatically someone who is a double doctor, triple doctor, PhD or medical doctor, super specialty, he will be held in highest regard, and he should be held in highest regard. Nothing wrong in that, right? For example, an ordinary lawyer, junior lawyer, senior lawyer, magistrate, junior magistrate, senior magistrate, then high court judge, Supreme Court judge, right? So there is hierarchy because qualification is different, experience is different, then their exams are different. So whenever you see or use the word Brahmin, they are usually into the training part. For example, even in Army, Navy, Air Force, there are training academies. In sports also there are training academies. In mountaineering also there are training academies. Training academies for boxing, kung fu, martial arts. In boxing and martial arts there is different color belt. Black belt is the highest. We have got green belt, white belt, brown belt, depending upon what you are learning. Black belt is the highest belt. In black belt also, black belt 1, black belt 2, black belt 3, up to 10 means I don't know. So that shows that the more dangerous you become as a warrior, your belt is the highest belt, right? So once you understand, so whether a teacher junior or senior, professor junior or senior, doctor junior or senior, whatever field, science, arts, commerce, singing, maybe dancing, there are junior artists, senior artists, rich and famous artists, right? They are paid more. Famous writers are there, famous directors are there, ordinary directors are there, in film industry. But this is for description, not for discrimination, right? So when you are into teaching from primary, secondary to undergraduate, graduate or graduate, whatever field you may be teaching, singing, dancing, martial arts, science, commerce, whatever, at whichever level. So you are intellectual, and this can be called as modern Brahmins. So you can become a teacher by studying. It is not based on birth, right? So it is foolish if I say that a doctor's, if means parents are doctor, children will become doctor. If parents are lawyer, children will become lawyer. If parents are singer, children will become singer. No, that is not possible. But they have a chance of becoming, because their parents are doctors. So there is a very high probability that he can become a doctor. So he has a luck, more luck. He has a atmosphere, environment to become a doctor. If he is a singer's son, parents are singers, dancers or whatever. So whatever parents are there, they will definitely help children to become that. Nothing wrong in that. Everyone has a right to become everything. If you have the guts, go for it. Go for the entrance test, go for the aptitude test, go for the attitude test, go for the personality test. There are so many entrance exams are there. Why they are there? Entrance exams are not for discrimination. It is for description. It is to decide whether he has the right attitude, right IQ, right EQ, right spiritual quotient, right physical quotient, right musical quotient. Right? There is no discrimination. But when you are born to good parents in a higher class setup, chances are the children have more opportunity and the struggle is reduced. So Brahmins means at that time they were the teachers. And in our ancient time, they were respected, even primary teacher to double doctorates. They were respected. So naturally means initially saying that teachers were born, that is not possible. When we were in the caves, our ancestors were in the caves, right? They were not dreaming of making universities or colleges or schools, primary school, kindergarten school. They were not dreaming of going on the sun, moon, interstellar travel, physics, philosophy. No, they were fighting for survival, food, clothing and shelter. So I think in ancient times, natural attitude and aptitude, some people are born to learn certain things like singing, dancing, or maybe carpenter, or maybe blacksmith, or maybe metalsmith. So these are natural instincts of a human being. And ancient times there was no rules who will become what. So by nature, maybe one of our ancestors saw a log rolling down, or a stone rolling down from uphill to downhill, and he invented a wheel, as simple as that, right? But this scientific attitude in that person during staying in caves is a natural attitude. He is not a born scientist. He is understanding what is going on, why lightning takes place, why other animals are afraid of fire. So automatically groupism started. So if I learn a trick in those times, ancient times, say 10,000 years back in caves, or let me divide 5,000 to 10,000 years, right? 5,000 to 10,000 years BC, or roughly contemporary time is, as per my research which I have done on Ramayana and Mahabharata. So 6,000 plus 3, 9,000, 6,000 BC to 9,000 BC was the Stone Age. Then 3,000 BC to 6,000 BC was the Bronze Age in our Asia. we are in South Asia, but I will take Asia, Asian chronology, calendar. And from 0 means before Christ, 0 to 3000 BC, it was Iron Age. So these training skills naturally came to some human beings naturally. Someone learned to swim, someone learned to make boats. So this 3000 to 6000 BC, so roughly it is our Mahabharat's time scale, 3000 plus minus 100 years. Just I am giving for a reference, nothing to do with caste system. We should know the calendar, right? Then Ramayana is 7000 plus minus 100 years. Evidence is there, but it is weak. There are so many dates given by so many people. You go for my video on Ramayana and Mahabharata, you will understand. But that is not the topic here. And so during our Stone Age, in South Asia in particular and Asia in general, Stone Age was 6000 to 9000 BC. 6000 to 9000, 6 plus 3, 9. So human beings who had natural skills of becoming carpenter or whatever workmanship they became, and for survival they kept it as a family secret. So one person learned the tricks of the trade by nature, by natural aptitude. Some people are born swimmers, many musicians are born musicians, they don't go to schools, but they become world famous musicians. They are natural musicians, natural singers, natural dancers. It is in their genes, right? So during Stone Age, these natural instincts of becoming singer, dancer, fighter, ruler, king, citizen were there, and for survival they decided naturally. During Stone Age, survival mattered. They used to keep it as a family secret, monopoly. They did not used to teach their tricks of trades to other persons for fear of survival. Their survival was at stake. They wouldn't allow others to come into their region. Religion was yet to come. It is time for religion to come. I am talking of Stone Age. Hunter-gatherers. Roots of our caste system and class system was there, right? Then at that time, no one is born carpenter. You can be a natural carpenter, then you learn the tricks, you keep it within your family so that your family can have food, clothing and shelter. And then there are natural artisans. Everyone learned and they used to keep it a secret. Then, like I said, today if a woman has to marry a Mr. Somebody or a Mr. Nobody, she will naturally go for Mr. Somebody. Nothing wrong, as I said. So just imagine if every woman wants to get married to some Mr. Somebody or some rich and famous person, then only that one man will have multiple wives. Because ancient times it was allowed. Now it is not allowed. Legally it can be very dangerous. It is called adultery, extramarital affair. You cannot have polygamy or polyandry as on date. Though some religion supports, I am not against that. To each his own, right? Nothing wrong in that. But the roots were at that time, so then what happened? They decided, for example, supposing if a human being in Stone Age learned the tricks of carpentry, then he decided that usually internal marriages took place. even they were aware at that point of time that we should not marry within the family. Within the family, that was a natural instinct, not to get married within the family, but extended families or extended groups, marriages used to take place, and a female going outside the group was threatening for them, because then how will they breed if their females start going out? So then their winner keeps all. That dog fight or tiger fight or lion fight happens, and once the male is dead, in lions we can see, in tigers we can see, then that winner lion will keep all the women. He even kills the cubs of other lion whom he has killed, and then he will mate with those lionesses and he will increase his breed. So that natural instinct of keeping winner keeps all has roots in the jungle. But now we don't stay in jungle. We are civilized people, means at least we are behaving like that. So these roots of, so initially I think natural instincts in Stone Age gave birth to different kinds of professions at that point of time, and then the barter system started, knowingly, unknowingly, because everyone needs everything. So then carpenters started helping metalsmiths, potters, farmers were there, hunters and gatherers in Stone Age. Basic farming we were doing, basic farming. He was aware. So this barter system or exchange system came, but getting married outside group was prohibited in Stone Age also, in Bronze Age also. And this was for our own breeding and feeding. Because then what will happen? If the most powerful man in the jungle takes all the women, he kills all the male. In Stone Age I am telling, what will happen? Only one male will breed. Survival of the fittest, law of the jungle, and other males will not have a chance, the weaker ones will not have a chance for breeding and feeding. So I think first natural professions came, then they became private properties. Monopolies were maintained at that time, so that their skills remain with them and their feeding and breeding will continue. And marriages used to take place within the clan, not within the family or within that group. And maybe slightly polygamy or polyandry was permitted by nature, but that was different. But killing was not there. But when some external tribe, other tribe from some other region attacked us or attacked another tribe and killed the males of that tribe, and then naturally females were always a victim. Even today they are a victim. They are usually the hunted. Sadly we can see. But nowadays law is there for protection, which is good, and everyone has a right to defend himself or herself. So that ancient animal instinct which we had is now protected and covered by law, and these animal instincts are not allowed, which is good. So in first class countries, marriage by mutual consent is allowed, live-in is also allowed. It is a complicated topic, I know, but I am not taking names of any caste or creed, right? Creed or clan. So Brahmins means intellectual class. Kshatriyas means warriors. Warriors means like nowadays we have army, navy and air force, police force, firefighters, even sports persons. See, they require to be physically fit. Mountaineering, martial artists. Sports covers everything, martial arts, running. So, they were Kshatriyas. Naturally, because if you consider the Stone Age period, or the Bronze Age period, or the Iron Age period, see, I am talking not about the 21st century. I am telling you something which happened in BC, before Christ, or BCE, for current era. Right? I have given a very broad thing. So warriors were also natural. See, everyone there is a IQ, there is a physical quotient also, whether we will like it or not. Everyone can't become a bodybuilder. Even muscles are different. Every person's muscles are different. Your body responds differently. You can ask any doctor or a bodybuilder also. For the same amount of exercise, some person will have a very good body. Other person will not develop any body. Right? So warriors also, there are first class warriors, second class warriors and third class warriors. Like, as I said, means gold medalists are there, silver medalists are there, bronze medalists are there in sports. So in Army, Navy, Air Force also there is a hierarchy. Some are into the action part on the field, some are into the administrative part. Right? Right? Only soldiers are not there in the Army, Navy and Air Force. Administration is also there. They have got their doctors. Right? So, anything where physically you have to be fit, in the real sense, Army, Navy, Air Force, just look at those guys. They are very fit, professionals. They save us from so many disasters. Of course, we are thankful for them also. Because they are there, we can relax. Firefighters. Then there is a paramilitary also. So paramilitary means not that they are not military, but they are supporting. So this class system within the class system, as I said, that in Brahmin there is higher, middle, lower. Rulers, for example, president is there. President and his men are there. In our country, prime minister, ministers, MLAs, MPs, and country to country, this political system also changes. But there is a hierarchy from the peon to the president, from the peon to the prime minister. There is a hierarchy: central government, state government, local government, municipalities. Right? So, within the class system, there is a class system. So, warriors, wherever physical strength is required. So, I will not go into the repetition part, but you understand this with respect to our current conditions. This is general. Then comes the Vaishya or the business class. These are people doing business. Like companies are there, small companies are there, small scale industry, domestic industry, private limited companies, public limited companies, transnational companies, companies with budgets of lakhs of rupees, then million rupees or millions, billions, trillions. So their power will vary. So even in different companies, from small scale to large scale, we are having a higher class company, first class, second class and third class company, or A grade, B grade and C grade company. So A grade companies are supported by B grade companies, B grade companies are supported by C grade companies. So automatically there is a caste system, which is like a caste system. And here also you have to give entrance exams, you have to be qualified for that thing, for doing business, whatever business you are doing. You may be selling clothes, you may be selling food, clothing, shelter, you may be selling entertainment, movies. So there are directors, assistant directors, producers, worksmen, laborers. So any business you are doing, you require a business acumen. For example, sometimes big universities are set up by persons who are rich but not educated, but they will donate. Movies are made by producers who are not directors or actors. They are producing movies like big studios. They are producing movies. They have directors and actors at their means they can employ, they can purchase. When you are making a 100 crore or 1000 crore movie, producers' money is at stake. Directors and actors are there always. But gradation wise, producer is always at the top. He is the first class person there, right? So once you understand this, it is very easy. So business also, in plane also we have business class, right? And then comes the Shudra, who were called Harijans by Mahatma Gandhi. At that point of time, everyone knows that. But now our court has asked not to use this word. And they have their reasons. But I am using this word just for description. So, at that point of time, who were the Shudras? See, like for example, this is not a discriminative word. This was a profession at that point of time. People were keeping monopolies, like I said, for their own survival, for their own food, clothing and shelter. Later on, these professions which came naturally to them became their caste. Caste was not first because it is illogical. How can you be born in a caste in Stone Age? So you acquired some skills, then you passed that skills, kept them secret. You kept it within your family, within your tribe, within your culture. Even in martial arts, there are different schools at that point of time in China or Japan or in our country also. Martial arts is originally ours from Kerala, Kairali. So they used to keep it secret so that enemies or other clans or tribes don't know our whatever system we are using, whatever profession we are doing. So that monopoly is maintained. Naturally, you can have your food, clothing and shelter, you become a specialist. Like we have super specialist doctors, right? They are charging more. Super specialist lawyers, they are charging means more. So your special skills will help you in special feeding and breeding, right? So nothing wrong in that. So first these were professions, caste. These were first professions. And think logically it then became a caste. Because that is the only logical way this can happen. And who are Shudras? With respect to current thing, see, now we are human beings, we use toilets, urinals are there for bathing and for our calls of nature. So someone has to build those toilets, someone has to build all the things which are used in our bathrooms and toilets, commodes, basins, taps. Someone has to do this, right? Someone builds our bathroom. So human wastage, someone has to handle. Human waste, all kinds of waste. Kitchen waste is there, natural waste is there. Because this is also a very big task, a heavy task. So this is usually done by our sanitary department, who builds sewages, drainages, drainage system is there, sewage system is there, which is a very difficult task. You will understand this when your drains get blocked in the bathroom. You will understand how difficult it is. So that human waste has to be managed. It will be there. When you are eating food, it will go out also. Then it has to be disposed properly. So in first class countries, the disposal is different. In second class countries, the disposal is different. And in third class countries, usually there is no disposal system. But now things are changing. So then, as a human beings, in nature also animals die, but there are no last rituals or mournings, crying systems. But when human beings die, the body has to be disposed. When animals die, the body has to be disposed, or naturally it will be decomposed, and that will be dangerous. It can cause illness. If you just allow bodies to rot on the road, in the jungle it is different. So in BC it was okay, but now it is not okay. We have got human disposal systems. So dead persons are buried with honor, they are burned with honor. It has to be disposed correctly, otherwise it can cause illness. It can cause so many things. So this task of human waste disposal, animal waste disposal, and disposal of dead bodies of animals, disposal of dead bodies of human beings, and some post-death rituals are also performed. Post-death rituals in human beings. So that point of time, long back, so after birth, the rituals performed, those Brahmins were different. Then who performed post-death rituals, of course, they were also respected, because it is believed they prayed for the moksha, salvation or nirvana of the soul, so that the soul rests in peace. But as usual, like a surgeon, for example, if he is operating on a patient and saving a patient, saving his life, so it is a more respect, he has got more respect compared to supposing for a doctor who is doing a post-mortem report. Post-mortem means post-death, right? After a death. So a dead person's body, a post-mortem expert will analyze very correctly. But that dead person does not require anesthesia. He is already dead. So there is no question of any medical legal things or things going wrong. But of course there are rules and regulations for post-mortem also. These protocols are followed correctly in all countries. So in medical field, a surgeon who is doing a transplant operation is held in higher regard as compared to someone who is doing a, say, post-mortem. A discrimination is not there. They are equally good doctors. Even we require forensic experts. They are doing so many things. Without them, our criminals will not get caught. Research is not possible. We have to do research on dead bodies only. There is no other option. But that class system is there without realizing, because a dead person is already dead, so there is no danger of a person dying in post-mortem. He is already dead. So whenever anyone saves a life, it is more important. So human waste disposal, human body disposal, animals used to die, like domestic animals are there, they used to die. Then from their disposals, they are making, say, leathers, reusable leathers, belts. So automatically this was a profession. Like we have drainage experts, sewage experts, municipalities managing all the roads, underground drainages, underground sewages. It is not an ordinary task. You should not take that task lightly. As I said, if your drainage gets blocked in the bathroom, you will understand the importance of all these things. And even Corona taught us what can go wrong if we are not behaving in a hygienic manner, right? So during Corona, we were maintaining social distancing, right? Everyone knows we were maintaining social distancing. We had become paranoid about hygiene, personal hygiene, public hygiene. We were not allowed to mingle with each other. Then we understood the concept of herd immunity. So specific persons doing specific professions automatically acquire herd immunity. Like persons working in a chili factory will usually not sneeze, but if you go even from the boundaries of that factory, you will start sneezing because of the chili powder, right? So sometimes you become immune. Like warriors and boxers and fighters, their pain gradient is very high. They will not easily get pain by a punch, but an ordinary person will get pain by a punch. So this fourth class, Shudra, at that time, fourth class, they were doing this human waste disposal, human body disposal, and that was the thing. So it was a profession first, then continuously they kept that secret. Everyone, like Brahmins, they thought only their children and their clan. Kshatriyas, they thought only their children and their clan. Vaishyas, they thought only their children and their clan, their secrets, business secrets. And Shudra, they thought only their secrets, how to dispose all these things, because even this is a skill. So it was natural that these were natural professions which later on were kept within the family for survival reasons of food, clothing and shelter, and then it became a caste. They used to call that, yeah, he is a carpenter's son, he is a blacksmith's son, he is a goldsmith's son, he is a, later on when religion came, so who were learning higher books in religion were considered to be higher Brahmins. The more books, like doctors, double doctor, triple doctor, super specialist, same thing. That is why I was explaining the class system in the initial way. So then this caste system happened, and as I said, then there became a rule that carpenters will marry carpenters. So there were some businesses which were complementary to each other, some businesses were contradictory to each other, right? For a person who is dealing with birth, pre-birth or post-birth, and a person who is dealing with dead bodies or dead persons, they are contradictory, their profession is different, right? So some professions were naturally complementing each other and some professions were naturally contradicting each other. It is very easy to understand. We don't have to go into the details of which professions are complementary. So there is a medical staff, there is a paramedical staff, military staff, there is a paramilitary staff, business. So different types of business are there. Some are complementary, some are contradictory, right? Some are mutually beneficial, some are mutually dangerous. So automatically complementary class or complementary caste means initially they were professions which later on became caste, and then they initially made it a rule that, see, because then every woman, like I said, if I give a chance to a woman in modern context, to get married to a Mr. Somebody or a Mr. Nobody. She will marry Mr. Somebody. Nothing wrong in that. So during those time when Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudras were there, just imagine if all persons will get married to kings and queens, then other persons, they will not get wives for feeding and breeding, right? Everyone will want to get married to a warrior king, and the warrior king will also using his sword or his might is right, it will become, and then he will start killing other males. He will start killing other males, taking their wives to his harem, and he will have what is called as polygamy, and he will go for genocide. He will kill other males. He will have their woman 1, 2, 10, 100. So that is not good. That used to happen. Look at our ancient culture, our ancient history, ancient stories. Even today in some countries we can see the victorious tribes will rape women because post-war rapes are famous. Even in Hitler's camp, prisoner women are usually always in the danger of getting raped. That happens, we know that. First World War, Second World War, ancient wars. When the male dies, no one is there to protect her. Then this thing happens. So these things were banned in our culture, and it was said that Brahmins or complementary professions will marry each other. Kshatriyas will marry within Kshatriyas. Within family, marriages were not allowed, but within the same clan, same tribe, they were allowed. And if someone breaks that rule, then that honor killing used to happen. Usually if a lower class woman gets married to a higher class man, that was accepted, because ultimately the woman, as usual, even today it happens, the woman goes to the husband's house. Where are these roots? These roots are in our caves. These roots are in our caves. Stone Age, Bronze Age and Iron Age. Right? We can see that this type of lower class woman getting married to a higher class or higher caste male was allowed, because the lower class male had no guts to fight that higher caste male. Because in a hierarchy they will usually kill. Even today it happens, right? A powerful male, usually he will do whatever crime he wants, and he will hire a powerful lawyer, and he goes scot-free. It happens, right? Benefit of law he will take. So people will make scams of thousands and crores of rupees and not get caught, and an ordinary pickpocketer will be thrashed by public and killed also sometimes. So like a cobweb, small insects get caught, but big insects and birds will destroy that cobweb. Alright? So that rule came of getting married within the clan, within the caste. Caste was basically profession. I am very much sure about this, because how can a caste be there in the caves? First, we learned some professions as per our attitude and aptitude, natural aptitude. Then we kept it secret within our family. Then complementary professions started, means intercaste marriages or interclan marriages, and that was allowed because they are complementing each other. But contradictory classes or caste, if you do that, then war used to happen and people used to get killed. So that honor killing which nowadays they are doing, which is not justified, the law doesn't support, and that is good and correct. If anyone wants to marry anyone, he has a right, he has to get married. But why this is happening? Still it is happening. We can see, when I hear these news of honor killing. I am sad, means on 7th of June 1893, Mahatma Gandhi was pushed out of the train on racial grounds. And today, even in the 21st century, in 2023, we are still, means you look at the matrimonials worldwide, as I said, interracial, intercaste, interreligion, contradictory marriages are still very rare and not accepted by the society. For example, see, even many countries, same-sex marriage is not allowed. I am not against or for it. Wherever majority permits, it is allowed. Wherever majority doesn't permit, it is not allowed. And that is what human beings are. So in any country you go, laws are made by majority people. Other people have to follow it. They have got no choice. Otherwise they can move out to go to some other country where they are comfortable. And I am not for or against all these things. It is your choice. But killing because someone gets married out of caste, traditional caste, honor killing, it can't be justified. Law has to take strict action whenever this type of discriminative things happen. And of course laws are there. Monopolies Restriction Act is there, Atrocities Act is there. In different countries they are by different names. So I am not into means this caste based reservation should be there or not. That law will decide. Worldwide law will decide, our country will decide. Supreme Court is there, High Court is there. There are good politicians, there are bad politicians. They will decide. This was not a lecture on caste based reservations. I am trying to understand why these caste based reservations came from where they came. The origin of caste, like origin of species by Darwin and Mendel's law of genetics. So I think of this origin of caste came from the caves. I have given a general explanation without trying to disrupt or disturb anyone. And as I said, words used here are not to discriminate but for description. So I think only logically is, if you go, this law of the jungle has now become the law of the city for some persons. They are following those old laws of complementary marriages and contradictory marriages, which were not allowed at that time because survival was at stake. So caste system was basically not. Then who did this? I am not blaming. So whoever invaded us from outside, everyone knows. So invaders, they are hunters and they hunted us, and they used divide and rule policies worldwide, and they took advantage of the enemy's weak points. Everyone does that. When you are a powerful person, you will naturally take advantage of the disadvantages of the enemies. Nothing wrong in that. Now it is for us and our law to understand this class system and the caste system. And we cannot forget that we are human beings first, everyone, and we have no right to kill anyone. Means discriminating on the basis of caste, creed, religion is not acceptable. We have to respect the difference of opinion. If someone is going wrong, we have to go through a proper channel. Rehabilitation is important. Counseling is required. So caste system, I find that current existing class system first class, second class, third class and fourth class, which we accept. We have got nothing against it, because now it is normal, it is routine. So this same class system was routine and normal at that time, means before BC. BC means 1000 to 10,000 BC, right? It was a like class system we have now. We have first class, second class and third class and fourth class in plains, and we don't find it wrong. So at that time, complementary castes and contradictory castes were there, and at that time it was natural. There was no fight until invaders came and took advantage, divided and ruled us. But now our constitution gives protection to everyone, from the higher class or higher caste to the lower caste also. And I think we must respect constitution of not only our country or our religion. Religion was ancient constitution, right? So we have to take good from everyone and anyone, and we should not take bad things even if it comes from our own religion or region. Otherwise, as human beings, it is difficult to survive. I believe in live and let live, and I believe that we should not, like it is said in our Srimad Bhagavad Gita, we should not destroy anything which we cannot create, and we should not create anything which will destroy us.